Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening to Tea with Keys. And today's episode is going to be of why black people love to seek validation from white people and industry, music, all that shit. So, you know, I chose this topic because of the recent announcement of the Grammy nominations. And, it was like an online bloodbath. It wouldn't be without Stan Twitter doing the fucking most, like all fucking ways. And and so, you guys know who was nominated for who, what, when, where, and why. So I don't need to announce that, but I was just so happy to see all of that black excellence at the white ass Grammys, baby. Because it's all some white ass shit. And that's no offense, but I'm just so passionate about black people and them prospering and glowing and enjoying their craft, you know? And the fact that Beyonce, she has 9 nominations, Drake, Kanye, and Reed, they have 8, Chance the Rapper has 7. I was just so happy. And it made me so proud that to see all of those nominations, like, I really hope they win each category that they were nominated for, and I just wish them the best. It makes me feel good to see Solange nominated for a Grammy. I think it's her first one, actually, her first nomination. So I really wish her the best of luck. And Maya was even nominated for Best R&B Album, because her album was the shit, baby. And that was one of my favorite albums released this year. So I just really hope everything goes well, even though they're not going to show the R&B categories on television. But whatever. You know how that go. But I think the trigger was when Album of the Year nominations were announced. And of course, they went to the same people. They went to Beyonce, Adele, Drake, Justin Bieber, and someone else I don't even know who the hell they are. But yeah, they nominated. And I think it was a shock that Rihanna was not nominated for Anti. She was nominated for Best Urban Contemporary Album, and that's the category she always wins in anyway. But in my opinion, and I wish a bitch would come in my mentions and tell after they listen to this podcast and say some bullshit, because in my opinion, I feel like Anti is the best album released this year. I wrote a review on it on my blog back in May. I'm going to redo that, and I'm going to rewrite it, because I feel like I look at Anti in a new light every fucking week. So it's like I'm about to redo that and hopefully get some insight of why I really feel like Anti is the album of the year. And from what I'm reading on these year-end lists, a lot of people agree with me. Anti was the best album released this year, and that's no shade towards Beyonce, because I'm a huge Beyonce fan myself. But when it comes to replay value and just seeing Rihanna grow as an artist, that album just resonates with me more than Lemonade does. I feel like Lemonade is a black women album, and I'm all for the sisters, but Anti was just knocked everyone else out of the league for me for the year. So I really felt like it was snubbed, and it wasn't like because they chose Beyonce. Hell, I feel like 25, like, out of all albums, they put Justin Bieber. And I'm like, I'm not really a Justin Bieber fan, so I really didn't care for his album. I work at American Eagle, so of course I heard Sorry on that damn playlist. And so, that's the only song I heard from his album that I think is decent, but I've never really cared for Justin Bieber. I think he's a fucking twat. But to each his own, I guess. And that Irrelevant group, I don't even think no one heard that album. So when I hear people be like, well, I think the nominees for Album of the Year is accurate, I'm like, bitch, where? You don't even know this fucking group. Shut up. Y'all just feel like somebody is attacking Beyonce. And It's just so tiring. I feel like if you listen to my episodes, you know I made a Death to Rihanna and Beyonce comparisons podcast episode. So I already got that shit out of the way. I don't feel like going through it again, but it's just so fucking repetitive. I really want these people to let this Stan Wars shit go in 2017 because it's fucking ridiculous. We would sit up and talk about black people need to come together, we need to do this and that, and you guys are so willing to cancel everyone for expressing their quote-unquote coon views. You need to cancel your motherfucking selves because it's getting so fucking ridiculous to the point where I want to unfollow everyone on my fucking Twitter account and start fresh. I am so sick and tired of seeing black people arguing and belittling another to uplift another. And like I said on the day of the nominations being announced, I said if you have to belittle Rihanna to uplift Beyonce, you're threatened by her and her success. Because Beyonce isn't. Beyonce is in a league of her own. Rihanna is in a league of her own. There's no need to fucking compare. And so, where the seeking validation comes in, it pisses me off how we would sit up and argue and fight and cuss people out and belittle each other over fucking Grammys. Grammys that are white people Grammys. People sit up and be like, I'm pro-black and blah, 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 and I'm for my people, but you will talk down on your people for being flops and not having a lot of Grammys. Like the Grammys ain't fucking right, and the industry isn't white, populated, and dominated. So when you see artists like Beyonce and Rihanna and Drake and Kanye and all of them doing the damn thing, why tear them down? They bust their asses to be where they are today, and they are proving themselves to be a force to be with. To be a force to be reckoned with in a white-dominated industry. And y'all take that for granted for arguing over who's better, who's talented, and who's not, who can't sing and who can sing. The newsflash is all of y'all get flipped from McDonald's burgers. Like, shut up. Your opinion is invalid because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, Beyonce's winning, Rihanna's winning, and all of these black artists are winning in some way, shape, or form. Might not be on the same level as another, but guess what? They are. What are you doing besides tweeting from your fucking unemployed couch having ass? Shut up. I am so fed up with people sitting up talking about I don't like white people, but you arguing over white Grammys. At the end of the day, there are legends who never received a fucking Grammy. Diana Ross, she's one of the best-selling artists of all time. She was with the Supremes, went solo, and got even bigger than what she was with the Supremes. And she has how many Grammys to her name? 1. And that's a lifetime achievement Grammy, bitch. Nas, legendary rapper. I don't even think he has a Grammy to his name. And he released some immaculate shit. And then you have let me see. We have legends like Toni Braxton, the late great Whitney Houston, and Mariah Carey, who is my other favorite of all time. They have 5 to 7 Grammys respectively. And you know, back then it was more competitive, and it was like all about talent. And I feel like today it's just an ass kissing contest. And if you want to keep it real, it really is. It's like, who we're going to cater to the most? Album of the year, Adele. I love me some Adele. 21 will forever be my favorite Adele album, but 25 is a damn snooze fest. And I wish I could get my damn money back for the album, because I bought it thinking like, okay, I like Hello. Hello is good. And then the other, it's a lot of good songs on that album, but I haven't listened to that album since 2015, and that says a lot. If I hear Hello on the radio, I might listen to Hello on the radio. But that's about it. I don't listen to 25. And so that replay value, that's been long gone. So I don't understand. And, you know, and I don't want to say that, having a lot of Grammys don't mean that you're a flop or you're a loser because you don't have 20 fucking Grammys like Beyonce. And that's awesome because she deserves to be credited for the work she's put out over the years. But come on now. Stop acting like it makes or breaks someone's success to not have a fucking Grammy. Like, yeah, we want to be recognized for our hard work, but support our own shit too. And that's even questionable because BET and Centric are owned by Viacom, and that's white people, you know. But it's still our shit in a way. We still have the BET Awards. We still have Soul Train. Those are primarily black award shows. We still have that. And when those come on, all I see y'all talking about is how such and such don't show up. They're above this shit, but they always be at the Grammys. For what? Why do you need that white validation so fucking bad? I feel like we can prosper with our own people. Just like how everyone was so against the Oscars for, you know, not... Because, you know, like, our black actors and actresses only win Oscars and Golden Globes and all that shit when they portray slaves and shit like that. And you know, and that's tragic, but if that's the case, then why do y'all seek white validation so fucking bad? Why y'all don't show up and show out at our own shit? And that's keeping it real. Like, I love Soul Train award season. I love the BET Awards because I get to see so much black excellence. I love it. And you know, I love to see the Grammys too, but that's primarily still that white dominated and populated industry doing what they do best, snubbing our people. And so what I'm trying to say is we need to do fucking better with how we treat our black artists. We will sit up and talk about how R&B is quote unquote dead and all this and that because y'all call them flops and y'all don't support them. But y'all will go run to see Adele, but talk about how Jasmine Sullivan is underrated and all this and that. Buy their shit. And I know it's a lot more into it, like with the labels they're on, because a lot of them are on crappy ass labels like RCA and Epic and shit. But it also starts within you as the people. Like, the majority of our top artists, they sell the way they do is because of their white fans. And that's being honest. Like, I don't think black people care too much about buying music that they outside of the people or outside of their quote unquote faves. If they're not their faves, they're not gonna buy it. And you know, since I'm heavy into streaming now, I don't buy everyone's album. But if it's a good ass album, I'm willing to spend my money on it. Oh, excuse me. But you know, like, we don't need that white validation so much. If people will sit up and talk about how white people can't dance and don't even use seasoning, but you're willing to go toe-to-toe with your own people over their Grammys. A Grammy does not solidify anyone's success. And although Rihanna was snubbed for an album nomination that she rightfully deserved, that doesn't take away anything from her success. And that's one thing I have to understand and realize myself. Like, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of people feel like Lemonade was the album of the year. And a lot of people feel like Anti was the album of the year. I don't care what the fuck you prefer. I'm just happy to see my black people win. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. We need to stand and unite with each fucking other if we're going to make a difference in this white ass world. And that's just keeping it real. And you know, thank you guys for listening. I'm just gonna shut the hell up and go on with my life. But you know, support your people. That's at the end of the day, we need to stand by each other and with each other and support each other in all of our endeavors if we ever want to make a difference. Thank you, and I'm signing out.